Welcome to our YouTube video series on employment law. My name's Christopher Neufeld of Neufeld Legal, and in this particular video we'll be discussing union employees who have been permanently laid off and why they shouldn't simply accept the final terms of their permanent layoff and termination as the be-all and end-all. Because first of all, as a union employee, you have to understand that the union has competing interests that they're dealing with when you're laid off. And their first and primary interest is to the union. Yes, they have an interest to the employees as a collective, but there is more to it than that. There is also the individuals. And these interests can be at odds. Now, why is that the case? And that's the case is that unless they provide you with separate legal counsel that is actually prepared to challenge the union's position, challenge what the union has done, then you're not really getting independent legal counsel from any side, and your interests aren't necessarily being protected, and your financial rights are not being protected and advanced. So why is that the case? Well, the fact of the matter is that unions, their representatives, even their legal counsel, can be wrong when it comes to the law, and on top of that can have interests that go against what your personal interests are. When you are permanently laid off from a company, your only interest is that of yourself and your family. Meanwhile, the union is out there protecting the interests that they have negotiated and that they may well believe in good faith that they have done correctly, but ultimately they are protecting the collective. And that ultimately is the challenge with a union when you are the one that's been personally laid off on a permanent basis and you're not going back to the company. So what do you need to do? What you really should be doing is proceeding to get your own legal advice, your own perspective, and get a determination to see whether or not you have been appropriately taken care of on your exit. And if there are the means available to you to secure a greater financial payout. And I can tell you from research and review and knowledge and insight that the fact of the matter is that a lot of unions, especially these big unions, have done stuff that technically exposes their arrangements and your former employer's arrangements with respect to your termination to a legal challenge. And when it's subject to legal challenge, it allows you to challenge the company and somewhat inversely the union's ability to represent you and seek out a more beneficial financial arrangement for yourself. And this is a matter of protecting yourself, your family, and in many respects, they can call it oversight, they can call it accounting errors, they can call it whatever it is. But oftentimes, it is money that is legally owed to yourself and that you should well be pursuing. So that is what you have to consider. You have to think about these things. Engage with a lawyer such as ourselves and take the opportunity to speak in confidence. Get your free assessment as to what your situation and determine whether or not you got all you deserved. Because as I'm reiterating, the fact is you might have been permanently laid off, but your interests in that arrangement may not have been adequately advanced. They might have been very well advanced in certain aspects, but not in all aspects. And there may well be money, and it could be a significant amount of money that has been left on the table and that you are legally entitled to, and that the lawyer will be able to pursue on your behalf. And that is what you need to consider. That is why you should take the time to follow up and contact the right lawyer to discuss this in confidence. It's your legal right, and it's something that your family and yourself deserves. You don't put the onus afterwards on the union or the employer, but the fact of the matter is if they were wrong, if they were incorrect, they can chalk it up to whatever they want to. Accounting errors, payroll errors, oversights, any type of issue. But the fact of the matter is, if there's money that is due to you, you should be looking at getting that money because you've earned it and you're entitled to it. So I trust you found this YouTube video informative and wish you all the best in your pursuits, especially after this difficult time following your layoff from a unionized job and having to make ends meet. Thank you.